What up, y'all? It's your boy FG, back with another video. Now look, I had this shit popped up in my head last night. I was watching a movie or some shit like that, and it just popped up in my head. I was like, I don't know if it'd be like a good story time, but it's just like some interesting shit to talk about. But I'm gonna sit down. Let's see if I was. Yeah, all right, straight. All right. This story time is about when I got sick in prison. Um, you feel me? I had this. I didn't know it at the time, but you remember I was telling y'all when you go to CFRC and when you go to the East Unit, it's like the transition side of the camp of CFRC. So that's what it was. Once I had went to my main camp, Hernando, um, I went to Hernando for a little bit. Anyway, I ended up meeting this little white old dude. He like he like I think he said he was like 70 something. But this dude had hands like a motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Like this dude, like he said he used to box back in the day, but this dude had hands. But anyway, I met him my first day going to Hernando and shit like that. We was in the same party together and shit like that. But eventually, for some reason, he went back. We went back to CFRC. I don't know why he went back to CFRC, but I was going back because I was going to work release. So they took me to my main camp and shit like that, and they took me from Hernando and brought me back to CFRC, and couldn't find out we was on the bus together. Now he was blowed that he was coming back to CFRC, but I was kind of happy because I hated my fucking main camp. Hernando, I hated that place, dog. Like that shit was just whack. Like you walk around with ankle monitors and I just hated that place. But anyway, when we came back to CFRC, the East Unit, we was in line and shit getting our physical and shit like that. And he was telling me he used to work in the kitchen. And I didn't notice before I went to my main camp, when I was at the main unit, the East Unit, I didn't notice until I came back to the East Unit. And he was telling me, he said he used to work in the kitchen and shit like that, and it was like a whole bunch of rats in the kitchen, like rat feces everywhere on the food. They be biting the food and shit like that. If y'all ever been to prison before, they call like the little hamburger meat, they call it rat patties. That's what we got for lunch. That's what we got for lunch today. We got rat patties. So supposedly they be biting like the food and shit like that. They be biting like the hamburger meat, and they be having like feces and shit all over the place. It's nasty back there. It's real nasty. That's what the old dude was describing to me, because he said he used to work in the kitchen. It's real nasty back there. Now I don't know about the main unit. Like I said before, if y'all remember my story time, how I got my bunky ass when I was talking about my cousin and shit like that. My cousin actually used to work in the kitchen. It made him permanent, and he used to work in the kitchen, but he ain't never said nothing bad about the kitchen. You feel me? So maybe the main unit and the East Unit is different. I don't know. It is bigger. I can't say that. The East Unit is the kitchen. The cafeteria is big as fuck, bro. Like, so anyway, the old dude was telling me about the kitchen and shit, about the rats and stuff like that. And, they got shit everywhere, just like rat shit everywhere. And they supposedly be biting the meats and be biting the food. They all over the place in the kitchen. It's just real nasty. So this, like I said before, he told me this when I was transferring from the East Unit. When I came back to the East Unit, because when I came back to CFRC at the East Unit, I was only there for a day. Like I said, I was going to work release. Work release was kind of unexpected. God looking out for me. When I had went to my main camp, February 26th. I was blowed that day. I did not know I was going to my main camp. I thought I was gonna stay. A lot of people that been in prison, I told them how much time I got. I told y'all they gave me a year and a day, but I only did 6 months in prison. Well, really I did 4 months because my 60 days, my last 60 days I didn't work release. My last 2 months I didn't work release. So from February 26th, that's when I went to my main camp, and I was there for about 5 weeks. I want to say 5 weeks. But my second week at my main camp, out of nowhere, the lady asked me if I wanted to go to work release, and I was like, I signed up. I waited. They came and got me. The lady said, April 8th is when I had left my main camp and went back to the East Unit. And I was only at the East Unit for a day. Literally the next day, I left the East Unit and went to work release. Work release was straight. I don't know if y'all know about work release, but you get to wear regular clothes and you get cell phones and shit like that. And you get to work a job. Whatever job you find, was construction, restaurant jobs, whatever job it is. You still kind of like locked up, not really, but you get to wear ankle monitors. You feel me? You're not in prison blues. You get to wear regular clothes and shit like that. You get to leave the facility only when you working and shit like that, and that's what it was. So, like I said before, when I came back, that's when the dude was telling me about the racks and shit like that. I'm just breaking this shit down so y'all have a understanding. Okay, now when he told me this, like I said before, I was going to work release, and like I said before, when we came back to the East Unit, it was April 8th. Yeah, April 8th. That's when he was telling me, when we was in line and shit like that, getting our physical, he was telling me about the shit, about the kitchen. And so I didn't notice at the time. Like I said before, this happened in April. I got sick. I think I got sick either in January or February. I want to say it was January. January was when I got sick, because like I said before, January is when I went to the East Unit. And I noticed a lot of people was getting sick when you first go to the East Unit, when you was in that motherfucking C-Pod, when you come in that bit, bro, I want to say, like, when you first get in, probably about a week later, bro, your ass gonna get sick. I noticed that with everybody. Like, everybody was getting sick, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Like, man, I ain't never been sick like this before. Man, like, normally when I get sick like around, I be sick for like maybe 3 days. You feel me? No more than 3 days. Sometimes I might get sick for a week, but normally it's 3 days. Man, bro, when I was in prison, bro, I was sick for like a month. You feel me? Like a month. And I remember this old dude, I think he from West Palm Beach or some shit like that. He was telling me, I noticed, we was actually at the main unit together. Remember when I told y'all I had did a story time about when I had got slapped by the CO, and he was telling me, oh, they can't put their hands on you and shit like that. You can sue them and shit like that and yada yada yada. That's the same dude that was telling me about he don't go to the cafeteria and eat. He always eat his canteen food and shit like that. So when I got sick, man, it's like I felt like, I don't know if y'all ever had COVID before. You feel me? Like, I don't know if y'all know what it feel like to have COVID, but I had COVID before. Some female gave me that shit. But I kind of felt the same way as I did with COVID. I felt drowsy, bro. I felt like I was gonna die. You feel what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't feel good, bro. That shit was horrible, bro. I was sick for like down there a month, bro. I first went to the East Unit like January 11th, January 9th or 10th, somewhere around there, and I was probably sick to like the middle of February. Um, Man, that shit was nasty, bro. Like I said before, bro, I didn't know nothing about the cafeteria because nobody never put me on game. I mean, a few niggas told me about the cafeteria, but they didn't tell me how nasty it was. They just say they don't go to the cafeteria because they used to work in the cafeteria and they know what it's like working there. They say a lot of niggas um be jacking off to the COs and shit, to the female COs and shit, and they be nutting and shit like that, and they don't wear gloves. They don't wear gloves, and they might be like touching the cake, and they don't wash their hands, and they touching your food and shit like that, and they don't wash their hands or they don't wear gloves and shit like that. So that's why a lot of people told me they don't go to the chow hall. They ain't say nothing about how nasty it was and shit like that. Maybe that's why I got sick too, but I don't think you can get sick over that. You probably could, but I don't think so. I think it was more because of the rats and shit like that. Um, that shit was so fucking nasty, bro. That shit crazy, bro. Like, that shit crazy, bro. And even I was getting canteen and shit like that, but I still was going to the chow hall. You get what I'm saying? Like, um, that's how I saved my money. You get what I'm saying? Like, canteen, they chips in canteen, all of them different. But the cheapest canteen chips you can buy in canteen is 58 cents. So I was buying a whole bunch of those and shit like that. And then they got like soups for like $1 and shit. But then they got the cheap soups that be like in a cup. They got those for 58 cents. So like I was buying those and I was saving my shits. I was eating one soup a day, one chip a day. That's how I used to save my money and shit like that. Save my canteen. But a lot of these niggas, they'll just splurge and shit like that. How long this video is? 12 minutes. Yeah, that's all I really want to talk about, man. I just wanted to tell y'all how nasty this shit was, bro. Like, man, that shit was nasty as hell, bro. Like, I wish I would have known that shit. They would have told me that shit when I first got to prison, bro. I probably would have never went to the chow hall either. That shit was crazy, bro. Like, I noticed, like, a lot of my homeboys and my cousins and shit, like, they be giving me their cakes and shit like that, but I didn't know niggas was doing that. You feel me? Like, niggas be gunning and shit, like, if y'all don't know what gunning is jacking off. You feel me? Like jacking off to the COs. A lot of niggas was doing that. You got some weird ass niggas that be. I remember one time this dude was gunning the CO and she called for backup and it was probably like 2-3 in the morning. White dude was gunning the CO and she called for backup and they bone rushed in the motherfucking cell and shit like that. Or the dorm, that's what it is. It's not a cell, it's a dorm. Bone rushed the dorm and shit like that. And they put tasers in his face, like, get down, like they draw down on his out. They don't care about that shit, bro. But they told me that shit when I was in the county jail, though. That's one of my things that I wanted to do, but I could never do it because I was scared I might get, fucked up. But I always wanted to fuck a CO. When I was in the county jail, I know this one nigga named Wayne. I ain't gonna say his name and shit like that, but he was in that bitch for murder. I think I talked about him before. He was in that bitch for murder, 2 accounts. He fucked around and he was in prison. I think he was already in prison for like I forgot what he was in prison. Oh, he was in prison for robbery. I don't know if it's true or not. You can't really listen to niggas, but he claimed he robbed Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty had a green I forgot what it was. It was a green something. Whatever the fuck it was, but it was a green foreign car. And he used to park his car at the club and shit like that, and he broke in his car. Pooh Shiesty had a few niggas with him and shit like that, and he broke in all their cars and shit like that, and he stole all their guns. Eventually he got locked up for robbery and shit like that, but when he got out, he got hit with another murder, some nigga shot at him. He shot back at the nigga and shit like that. And his daughter got hit in the midst of it. You feel me? His daughter died, and the nigga that shot at him died. And my homeboy, he got hit too. He got hit 13 times with a 9. That's why I speak to y'all niggas, bro. I say I don't fuck with 9s. If y'all know 9s, I never heard of nobody getting killed off of a 9. You get what I'm saying? Like, 9 times out of 10, if you get hit with a 9, you surviving. That's why I like 10 mils. Because 10 mils, you need to hit a nigga 30. I told him that. I was like, bro, if you get hit with a motherfucking 10 mil 13 times, your ass done for. See, them 9s, bro, niggas be getting hit with 9s and shit and still be surviving, you feel me? I don't fuck with 9s, bro. Y'all know that, bro. 10 mil is my favorite caliber and 357 SIG. Them the only 2 calibers I fuck with, bro. But, anyway, bro got hit. Bro got hit, you know what it is. And they charged him with 2 counts of murder because his daughter died in the process and the nigga died in the process. I don't know what happened with that case because they already went to prison. But bro, his baby mama was a CO. When he went to prison the first time, he fucked the CO and she ended up getting pregnant. When she got pregnant, she quit the CO and she got like a regular job, whatever. And he said it's possible, but you don't wanna get fucked up talking to a CO, because if you talk to a CO, you can get your ass whooped, and they don't play about that shit. So I was kind of scared. Like, I want to talk to a CO, to a couple of them actually, but I just ain't want to take the risk. You get what I'm saying? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, gunning. It was a lot of niggas that was gunning and shit, bro. They that shit nasty, bro. This one blood nigga, he was gunning and shit in front of everybody, like in a hallway, like you in a hallway and shit, and you sitting there gunning in front of everybody. Like that's just weird, bro. I don't want this video to be too long, but that's basically what this video was about me being sick, bro. I wasn't think about this, bro. If you feel like you're gonna do some dumb shit, bro, just look at this video. You don't want to go to prison, bro. They got some nasty ass food. Then you're gonna be eating shitty ass rat patties and shit like that. And then you gotta sit there and wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they gonna have to wake you up again at 8 or maybe 7:30. And then when you get woken up at 8 7:30 for count, you can lay back down, but you can't get under your covers, bro. You don't want to go to prison, bro. I feel bad for them niggas that killed Fulio, because when I feel bad for them niggas, bro. Prison ain't where it's at, bro. I'd rather die than go to prison, bro. I'd rather be dead. This boy signing out. Video was about motherfucking them nasty ass rat patties and shit like that. Niggas getting sick off them fuck ass rat patties and shit like that, bro. So if you feel like you're gonna do some dumb shit, just think about what I said. Your boy signing out.